be, nothing to be ashamed of. We are beautiful, we are kind, and we are intelligent. There are some people who may call others a shithole, but someone who will call other people or put down other human beings, from what I see, as someone that who really see the beauty of the humanity, or someone who advocate for the humanity. The response is simple. Someone who doesn't know anything can be able to just, but pretty much someone who don't know anything will continue to view everything according to their things. So, to all Africans, I just want to say that to all of you who are listening, if you are disappointed in the last few days for African being called, or Asian or Haiti or El Salvador or other peoples, told those who come from the nation, a shithole nation. There's no shithole nation. I just want to make sure that clear to you guys. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We are fine. We are beautiful. We are intelligent. And so all I have to say is that, it's an encouragement to all Africans who are listening. Africa as a continent has contributed to this world. Even the so-called wealthy countries, it was built by the sweat and the blood of Africans. So it was not an easy, lazy African who made, or who are really people who don't know, who are not hard workers. So to those Africans who are listening, I would have to say that yes, for so long, we've been dehumanized, and we've been insulted, called every name that you can, even by some people even who don't have a brain or a mind, people who don't even know the beauty of humanity. And so that's why I say that there's no need to worry about somebody calling you or calling Africa as all nation. So the truth of the matter is, what that man did, Trump calling African and denying it, it's good, he denied it. Because it's something that to be ashamed of, to be told in the public. So if someone is proud of what they are, they cannot deny it. They come out and say it boldly. So to all the Africans who are upset or disappointed by this, I just want to tell you that, know that there's no just a place in this world called shithole. And Africa actually cannot be a place to be called that, because that is where every human living being originated from Africa. So don't be someone to look down and say that, I know some of our children will be asking and talking about this. Why have we been called this? As I was saying that, someone who have low self-esteem, someone who doesn't know the beauty of humanity, will try to put other people down to make room for himself. A real man who is full of love will never put down other human beings. As societies that care about the well-being of the humanity will never put down any group. Anyone who levels up a human being and put them down, just know that they have something that, there's empathy within them. There may be people who are the whole themselves. There's no country that, or a place that called shithole. And if we do that, it's just a matter of responding back. And if people don't want to respond that, they are a human being. All human beings are born equal. Whether you're dark or you're light or these things. But yes, there are some of us who are dumb. There may be a human being that if you take it by that word, their body is a human being, but their brain is a shithole. So there's nothing to be disappointed about. There's nothing to be discouraged about. So to those African young peoples who are being hurt by this, my message to you is, know that you are beautiful. The whole continent and the whole human being can never be labeled, or degraded to that point. Don't have to be ashamed. Just know that you are beautiful, you are fine, you are great, you are smart, you are intelligent, and you are kind, and you are hardworking. And God created you equal like any other human beings. There are other brothers out there watching some of the show. I have some of these African American brothers who try to defend the undefendable. There's something that in this world you cannot defend. As I was saying, that dignity, there's nothing much more than human dignity. You cannot defend morality, right and wrong. What makes human being different than any other living being is know between the difference between the right and the wrong. And there are some people that who really want to defend the independence. So for all those people who are that, the only thing to tell is, shame on them. To those who look at us as African, we did not contribute anything to this world. I want to tell them to go and learn the history. The Africa did not only contribute to this world, they are these worlds. If you learn the chance that the humankind is a contribution of Africa. The cradle of human being is an African. It originated from Africa. So anyone who will say that they're ashamed of Africa, they need to know that they're ashamed of themselves. And there's nothing to be ashamed of Africans. So that is the message that I want to pass on to those who are listening, to those young people who are being discouraged, to those people that who really hurt by this. Don't be hurt. Don't be discouraged. Just you have to do more. Our young peoples are dying trying to look for opportunity in foreign lands. Israel want to deport the African back to Africa. Europeans shutting their door for African to come. In Libya, our young brother and sister have been sold. They're trying to run away. They're trying to run away, not run away from Africa, but run away from the leadership that the African who failed to take care of the Africans. As I was saying, that Africans are not lazies. They were brought here unwillingly to build what we call today the first worlds. Whether you call it British or Americas. Without the sweat and the blood of African, it would never be a first worlds. The foreigner went to Africa first. They didn't went there to Africa looking for gold and mine and land. They went to look for Africans. The labors of Africans to build Africa, to build the world. So the problem now is, to those Africans, we have to say that we are part of the world. We have the duty to teach the peoples of the world about accepting their humanity. There are people who are human who don't even know that they are human. There are people who are human beings, but they fail to see the beauty of the humanity within others. For someone to fail to see the beauty of the human being of others, that means they fail to see themselves. And we should not waste our time on those peoples. So, my message to the young people who are listening, and to people who have children, just tell your children that they are somebody. Tell them that they are beautiful, they are intelligent, they are hardworking, and they can be anything that they want in this world. And if someone who failed to see the humanity of them, put them down, not to waste time on those people. That is the message that I want to pass on. And then to the other African. If you are being insulted or something wrong, we should not normalizing it. We should condemn it. And say that it's unacceptable. Wrong is wrong. So if someone discriminated you or put you down because of your skin colors or wherever you come from, condemned it. Because God did not create colors. God did not create language. God did not create religions. They created human beings. And those human beings come in all kinds. And there's some of us who say that, there are certain human beings who are better than others. Again, those are the people who fail what God has given them. So when we live in a world today where the humanities is being tested, where people who are live alone, men and women who fail to lead their family are leading the countries. Men who fail to love themselves and respect themselves and respect others get to the position where they're leading the worlds and leading the countries. The world has been put to test. And the only way we can pass that is to be above those who fail, who did not see, or those who are not seeing the humanity of others. We have the duty, the responsibility to teach and to guide, and above all to empower others. To say that you are not what other people think you are. You are what God made you to be. God created you in His image, and nothing less, and nothing more. So, to all those who came by DV, coming to America, or going to other places, I want to say to you, yes, we need to create a home for us. Africa is beautiful. Africa is fertile. The land is beautiful, the sister said. The people are brilliant intelligence. But the only thing is we have the corrupt African leaders who are living, good for a country. They are not even good for themselves. Those are the people who make other human beings to call our continent, our people, I shared all. So I said it before. Just don't be discouraged. The land is fine. Africans are brilliant. Africans are beautiful. We are created like every humankind. And we can be, the day is coming, we could be able to create a home for us. So we should not run outside waiting for someone else to free us. We can free ourselves. I'm glad that the African Union condemned this statement, but also all the other Africans who live outside abroad. I think it's about time that we start working together and deny these ethnicities. Donald Trump did not call ethnicity. He did not say Amara, Oromo, Tigray, Igbo, Roba, Kikuyu, Kalenjin, Luo, Somali. He said all African nation. That land has connected us as one. So to those narrow-minded among us who try to divide us based on our ethnicity, they are not different than those who label us, put us in the same box. So to those narrow-minded who think that they are only putting their tribe first or their clan first, they are as narrow-minded as those people who are just don't see the beauty of us. People who think that Africa is just a jungle. We love living in our hut than living in a mansion where everything that we do is immoral. It's worth living in a hut there where you live in a peace than living in a mansion that you live in the corrupt, immoral life. Nigeria live in a hut. They love their hut. There's nothing wrong with huts. So that's what I say, that we rather live in our hut than living in a mansion when our mind is empty, when our head is not different than those who don't think. So I just want to say that the work is in the hand of Africans. Africans have to stand together with those who care about the humanity and teach the world and leave this world a better world than when we were here. So whether you are from East Africa, you are from West Africa, you are from North Africa, you are from South Africa, the injustice and the misery that which was brought by our leaders has made us to be cold, shed all. But I want you to know that you are not. We are beautiful. And we are what God created us to be. We are no less than anybody else. So to the African, sometimes God used the bad, the bad thing or the negative things to create a greater things. Maybe this insult that coming from somewhere should unify us and work and get rid of these African, selfish African leaders who fail to take care of the continent. The tribal leaders, the immoral leader, the corrupt leaders, the men that who treated everybody, the abusive people, started from their families, men who fail to take care of their families. The womanizer who just go sleep from another woman to another woman's. It's only animal that goes sleeping around. So maybe about time that we work and create a leaders that we deserve. A leader that will respect us. A leader that will treat us. Above all, a leader who knows what it means to be a human. A leader that puts humanity before anything else. A leader that cares for all. For no one is free until we are all free. That is the message I want to send to all of you today. So, again, I don't want to make it long. I'm a social justice. I believe in human right, not a tribal right. I will never be silenced when I see injustice is inflicted on anybody else or anyone. So as an African, it hurt me, but also I need to know. I am not what somebody else say I am. I am what God created me to be, who I am. And so all of us should treat ourselves like that. Africa has become what it is because of the failure of the leaders who are in Africa, and then the outsider who come and use us, one tribe against another, so they can steal the resource. The world would never be what it is today without Africa. And what the African has contributed to these worlds, inimaginable, you cannot measure it, tremendous. And we will continue to contribute. What we contribute to these worlds is not, you cannot measure by how many immigrants come. I said it before. Humanity human being originate from Africa. We contribute. Africa contribute and bring a human being to this world. So anyone who try to put down Africa, if they look deeper, they're putting down themselves. Anyone who judge you, if they look deeper, they are judging themselves. So to that point, I want to say to all of you, any Africans out there somewhere, whether you are an immigrant or you are someone that who are working somewhere in higher position, educated and educated, just know that you are not what someone else called you to be. You are who you are. You are what God created you to. You are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are smart, you are kind, and you are generous. That's what it is. Nothing less, nothing more. So I just want to end that with you, to you. As I was saying, there are other brothers and sisters out there trying to defend the indefendables. Those people, we leave it to them. But we should not be silent. Silence will create more things. So I just want to end it again with the word I just said before. There's nothing in this world more powerful than self-dignity and self-worthy. Self-worth and self-dignity, there's nothing more than that. If there's something maybe life, and when somebody take away your dignities, you are so close not to be anything. And don't ever allow anybody to take away your dignity. Your dignity is not anything that you can get from anyone, from anybody. Your dignity that wants something that God gives you to be as a human being. And anyone who questioning your dignity, judging you, putting you down for whatever level that you come in, you should condemn it and speak out. So don't normalize any human being that who try to put you down. As I was saying, that there are other human beings who fail to see the beauty. Slavery did like that, those who went for slavery. Thinking that the darker Africans, even today, we are being brainwashed to thinking that those who are dark among us are not good enough. Because the thought, the dedication that being brought by others that who don't see they love themselves. If someone doesn't love themselves, anyone who put you down, there's something wrong with them because they want to live themselves. But someone who is comfortable where they are will never come and putting you down. To those people who try to go and sell and say that sell African, that meaning that they don't have anything within them. They are barrels with no mind, no brain, no love, no respect. Leave alone for others, for themselves. Those are the people who fail to see the humanity. Not the humanity of others, but the humanity of themselves. Anyone who's racist, who's putting down another human being because of skin color, because of language, because of religion, because they have something within them. It is a disease. It's a people that who are really low self-esteem, and they want to fill that gap by putting down somebody else down. Someone who don't have anything will never have anything to give back. If you don't know what you're looking for, even if it's your pocket, you will not find it. People who don't have anything to, don't have love within them, don't have respect within them, don't have care within them, don't have respect and appreciation for others, will have nothing to give to others except hatred, racism, bigotry. But someone that who really are full, someone that who are cleansing, who are pure with love, all they give to other people are love. So when you see someone that, judging other people, may that be Muslim or woman or Christian or African or whatever that is, those are people that who lack something within them, and they want to fill that vacuum with something else. Just like a bully. A bully who bullies someone is because they lack something. So next time you see someone that putting down another human being, just remind yourself and know that that person, he has the one who had the problem, it's not you. That person inside is like a bear of empty. There's nothing within that individuals. And we have to teach them and fill that gap with nothing more than self-love, self-worthy. It is lack of those Africans who lack, don't have a self-love, who don't have self-worthy, are the ones that are running the continent today. And what do? They think that they care only for those who their children or only for their tribe, because those people again fail to see the beauty of humanity of others. They are not leaders. Leader is someone that who see the pain of others. Leader is someone that who stood up for others. Leader is someone that who say that, you know what, the life of others is better when my life is better. Leader is someone who say that justice is not only monopolized, justice is something that you share. Leader is someone who say that, you know what, that kid that who belong to someone else in a farm, if you give them an education and become, the most bright, that kid will come back to us. Leader is like a farmers. Farmer who will envision that doesn't matter if the rain come tomorrow, they will go and plant it and thinking that tomorrow when the rain come, there will be plenty of food to feed the neighbors and everybody else. Leader is a carrier. Leader is a givers. Leader is a providers. Leader is a teachers. So leader is a preachers. Someone who preach hope and love. Leader is someone who care for others more than themselves. We don't have those leaders in Africa. Even in the world today, some of the greatest countries in the world, they are lacking those leaders. So that's why I say that we have been put to test to build those leaders from within ourselves and guide them. We should say enough with the criminals, enough with bullies, those who are there only for themselves, those who their job is not to advance the humanities, but to degrade the humanities. So, again, to my fellow Ethiopian and the other Africans, you have a role to play. There's a time when we will be able to say that enough is enough. African Union were created 60 years ago when the African was fighting to get rid of the colonizers. We got rid of the colonizers, but we found a colonizer within ourselves. The African Union until today has failed to lead us, to guide us. A place like my own Ethiopia, a country that has never been fought to not be colonized. But today what we have is no different than colonization. The difference between it is because those who are running the country just like us, people who put the ethnicity first rather than a country first, rather than a humanity first. African has to fight to decolonize African from Africans and create a home for Africa where our children will not die in Sinai deserts, where our kids, their organ will be taken out from them to be used for somebody else. There's some place today where Africans are not wanted to come to some place, but their organ is being good enough to be taken to another human being. Our children's organ has been harvested as they try to go and look for opportunity somewhere else. Our young woman has been raped just because they are beautiful, going to go and look for opportunity. Maybe it's time for African to decolonize African from the dictator that making African hostage, making Africa to be called a shed hole. So that has to come from us, not from somebody else. The enemy of Africa is the African leaders themselves and their crony who are coming inside. We are rich in terms of national resource. We are poor in terms of leaders who will lead us. So each one of you have a role to play. Not to remain as the beggars, waiting for some groups to come. We have to say that enough in begging for Western unwanted food to be dumped for Africa, in Africa, for our resource to be used. Enough. And it's only us who can say that is. So to my brothers and sisters, maybe for us to be called this kind of name should be something that should encourage us to stand up and say that enough is enough. The Malaysian did it. Some Asian country have done it because the leader of those put their country first, not their tribal or whatever that is. Maybe it's for Africa, to put Africa first. Maybe for Africa, the millionaires. What you have, only giving to you by the same God who gave every human being life. So to that, my brother and sister who is an African, love yourself, love your Africa, love the humanity. Each and every day, do something to advance in making Africa, making this world a better world to be. The world cannot be built on hatred. Whether that hatred lead the greatest country in the world, whether that leader is someone that who leading the village. The world can be built only on love. And those who don't love themselves will never love the humanity of others. We have the duty to teach them to fill the vacuum they have within them with love, not for others, but for themselves. We have a duty. We have responsibility. Each one of us. Be a role model to someone else. Be an agent of change. Speak up. Empower somebody. Be a mentor to someone. Anybody that is speaking, trying to deny or deny the others or dehumanize the others, reject them. At the end of the day, be a teacher. Be a mentor. Be a leader. Be a role model. Be a caring. Be a preacher. And being someone. You are someone already, but be a someone that who will contribute to betterment of these worlds. As I was saying that, whether it's Haiti, African nation, or El Salvador, or anywhere else, there's no just a place called shithole. None. It will only exist in a short-sighted individuals who view everything no less than the empty mind that they're thought of. So I just want to say to my fellow African brothers and sisters, the land is beautiful, the people are great and brilliant, and the world is beautiful when it is being driven by love rather than hatred. Hatred will never bring anything but destruction. Love will bring harmony and will make the society blooms. Harmonious society starts by talking to each other, embracing one another, loving for one another, caring for one another, and enjoying the presence of others. So we cannot build an harmonious society through hatred, through divisions. So that cannot work. Again, as I was saying, that the world we live in being put to test, where human beings are afraid of others, and they call it them and us. There's no us and them. Some countries are elected the people that who really don't leave alone good for the humanity, leave alone people who don't even good for themselves, for their family. So the humanity is being put to test. African, you are being put to test. My fellow Ethiopian brother and sister, you've been put to test. To create in a country where humanity come before ethnicity. To create a country where justice come to all Ethiopian. To create a country where your knowledge, the skill, the gift that God has given you will put you to top of anything that or any area that you're in. Not the countries where the ethnicity is the backbone of the country. That is a primitive thinking, it's a backward thinking, a thinking that will not get us anywhere. So as I was saying that, all the way to my fellow Ethiopian, a garden will never be beautiful with one flower. It is many gardens that make the garden beautiful. The garden of Ethiopia, in every ethnic group with every colors, a dark Ethiopian, light Ethiopian, short Ethiopian, skinny Ethiopian, taller Ethiopian, when you put them together, that's what makes the garden. The same thing to Africa. The African from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, when you put them together, that's the beauty, the garden of Africa. So let's nurture that garden, brothers and sisters, and not listen to those who think that we are what they think they are. We don't need to listen to them. We are who God made us to be. We are who we are. The garden that God has made us. So the Africa has contributed, not only today. Africa contributed in bringing human being to this world, and we will continue to contribute. Until then, do your share. And I want to remind you again, each and every day, when you wake up, be an agent. Do something that will make the life of other people better. Anything less than that is not good enough. Let's not the hatred, the bigot, the unkind, the tribals, the ethnocentric, the dictators. Let's not give them the rule to lead. We should not be led by blind, by hatred, by the selfish, by the unkind, by immorals. If you know that someone doesn't know how to drive, don't get in a car with them, because when they crash, they will crush you together. If you know someone doesn't know how to fly a helicopter, don't get into with them. When the helicopter crash, will take you together with them. So we should not be led by blind. We should not be led by criminals. We should not be led by bigot and hatred and ethnocentric or tribalists. We should be led by moral leaders who are full of love within themselves, who love themselves and love the humanity. Anything less than that, we should not accept that person, even if they come from the same mother and same fathers, leave alone from our ethnicity. Ethnicity politic based on hatred. So I just want to say to you guys, ethnicity politic is a selfish politic, short-sighted politic, immoral politic. It will not advance the people. So to those who are out there, do your job. We have the job to do to save the humanity. The only way we can save the humanity, to teach each one of us